Hey everybody, what's going on? This is a Daily Dose of Dave, episode 11. I'm Dave Sturchio. First and foremost, thank you guys for sharing and viewing and liking the last video I sent, episode 10, which was my new goal and my new aspirations to become a commentator and broadcaster for the new XFL that's coming in the year 2020. I don't know what I got to do, and I said that yesterday. I have no idea what the process is right now. They're in the baby stages, but I talked to a couple friends today about actually pursuing this, and they said all you have right now is time on your hands and do it. Do whatever it takes. So that's what I'm going to do. But today I want to talk about something that some of you guys might not know about, and it was kind of brought up today because one of my students, fifth grade, which, by the way, first of all, fifth graders, boy, sixth graders, you guys got some serious access, man. I mean, like, when I was a kid, fifth grade, sixth grade, all these kids have their personal computers now. Literally, they're walking around with laptops, where when I was a kid, you had to go to the library in line, stand in line, behind, like, I don't know, 1,300 people, and you had to scratch and claw to get to the front just to get on one computer to play the Oregon Trail for like 10 minutes and try not to die of a snake bite or something to that effect. You guys don't even know or have a clue what the Oregon Trail or that struggle was like. It was real. But anyway, kid lost something today. Not losing, like misplaced something, lost a contest, and he got very upset. So I had to console him because he was like uncontrollably upset, which I get. I used to be the kid that you had to like drag off the kickball field when we lose during recess. Like I was trying to go pro, and it just never worked out. But so the kid lost, and I brought up the story of something that you guys might not know about or know the details of, and that's my tryout with the Brooklyn Nets. And it's funny how I was talking to this kid about losing today, and I'm wearing the brand new Kurt Hawkins 0-150 losing streak. That's another episode for another day, but shout out to Kurt Hawkins, who embraces losing. And pro wrestling is obviously scripted, and that's his character. But if you think about it, he doesn't care about losing because the wins in life are so much bigger and better. And I kept trying to tell this kid this today about, the more times you lose, the better and nicer and sweeter the win's going to be. So last year, around June, I got a screenshot sent to me by my friend Raleigh. You might have saw him in the Creator Pro Day, and he's also the one that doesn't watch this, and if he does, he encourages me to stop. He's a negative Nancy, and I don't want to deal with his crap anymore. Just kidding. But, I know deep down, since we're boys, you can pick on your friends. It's just the way it works. But he sent me a screenshot about the Nets tryout. Not a screenshot, a link or whatever. So I clicked it, and I saw that the guy that was working for the Brooklyn Nets as their PA announcer was leaving. And I said, we'll see. I never thought about being a PA announcer, the guy the voice you hear when you hear the starting lineups for these teams. I never thought about that. I never thought about going down that road. And then Brian, Kurt Hawkins, was the one who said, why wouldn't you? And I said that yesterday. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. I think Jordan said that, okay? But, it's true. And I said to him, I said, yeah, you know what? You're kind of right. So I went. I was third in line that day. Casting was starting at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I got there at 10. 4 hours before anybody else. I was third in line. The guy in front of me, I actually became friends with because, you sit there for 4 hours. You want to shoot the shit about guys that are in your field. And the other guy I can care less about because he was very standoffish and said his wife was a model and he was a weatherman and this, that, and the other. And I can care the fuck less of what he's doing with his life right now because of the way he treated me. But this other kid, Nick Serrano, you can look him up on Facebook, Instagram. Very funny guy, good dude. I sound like Trump, good dude. Really funny. But so me and him tried out. There was 350 plus, despite what any articles say. We know exactly how many because I was counting every single time somebody came in. I went ninth overall, so I got to hear 8 before me. How I went ninth and got there third, don't get me started. People were freaking coming in the back door. And it's just bad. Don't get me started on that one. I was very pissed. But I got to see people go. And once I went, I felt good about it. I felt like, wow, my voice sounded pretty cool because little did I know we were going to do our auditions over the PA system of the Barclays Center, which is crazy. Like, I've never heard my voice in an arena like that, which is worse is that there was 18,000 empty chairs, empty seat arena. Like, surreal. And you performed in front of 7 or 8 judges from the Yes Network, the Brooklyn Nets, a bunch of their PR people. There's news coverage everywhere. So this is a big deal. And I'm like, wow, that felt good. We both walked out of there, me and my friend Nick. We both walked out of there feeling good. Like, you never know. And if no call, doesn't matter. What an experience, right? 2 weeks later, we get a call from this guy saying that I was a finalist. Nick got that same call. We got to the next round, is how he put it. So I said, this is great. I got really excited. I told my folks, like, they're all of a sudden, everybody's looking at this like a legit possibility that I can get to the next round and then get to the next round and then get to the next round and etc. So they said, show up in July on this date and you'll perform in front of a live game where 2 like street teams were performing, and you would have to call it like you were calling the game. Starting lineups every time somebody scores, blah, 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 right? Basketball operations. So I get there and I meet my friend Nick at the Starbucks. I don't drink coffee, like I said before, and he does. And anybody who drinks coffee prefers Starbucks all of a sudden, I guess. I don't know. It's one of their things. But anyway, bougie bitches. But so we go downstairs. The PR lady tells us the deal. She says, all right, you guys hang tight. I got to go get the other 2. Right away, I'm floored. I'm like, what do you mean other 2? Like, how many people are in the next round? I come to find out that they went from 350 down to about 100, down to about 50, down to about 25, and down to 4. Actually, another round, down to 14. There was a bunch of rounds that I wasn't even aware of. They had to go over these such little aspects of it, and all of a sudden I realized I'm standing there with 3 other guys, and one of us is going to be the voice of the Brooklyn Nets of the NBA. So now I'm going nuts. I'm like, this is out of control. So I do my tryout, my finals audition, and I think I killed it. And I'm like, wow, that was awesome. So the problem is the tryout was in July, and the season doesn't start until October. So the guy said, enjoy your summers. We'll be in touch. So I'm like, all right, like, it's going to be a long summer to wait, but it is what it is. So we wait all summer, and it comes to September where I finally have had enough. I've waited and waited and waited, and I finally reach out and I say, any update? Yep, we're getting back to you next week. Okay, cool. So then me and this kid, Nick, and the other 2 finalists, we all kind of stayed in contact with each other. We find out through the grapevine, through the interwebs, that the Cleveland Cavaliers announcer, who is kind of world famous, has done Olympics, has done some pretty cool things in this world of PA announcing, was stepping down as the Cleveland Cavaliers guy, and right away the Brooklyn Nets scooped him up. So we're like, wait a minute, how does that make any sense? We're in the finals, we're waiting for review. What's happening here? So I finally get the call that I was waiting for, and they tell me, and this is true, hand to God, I'm not lying about this, they said, Dave, you were the guy, but we had to make a PR move and hire some experienced fella. And my heart kind of broke, but at the same time, you're in this business you've been chasing it for a decade. You kind of know how it works. It's a who you know and where you're from and all that sort of crap. And it hurt. It drained me. It drained me of all confidence that I possibly had for that moment. But at the same time, that Brooklyn Nets audition opened up a lot more doors. It's kind of crazy how a loss like that can continue to grow and build wins. So if you think you're in a rut right now and you keep losing and you hate your job or whatever the case may be, there is greener pastures. It's just about taking the right losses and transforming them into wins. If that makes any sense. I know sometimes I'm confusing and sometimes it's kind of really broad, but that loss was maybe the best thing that ever happened to me. As bad as I wanted that job, it opened up a lot more doors, and I truly, truly believe that I'm in for a shit ton more of good things, all because of that one big loss. This has been a Daily Dose of Dave, episode 11. We'll call this the Brooklyn Nets. I want to thank you guys for tuning in, subscribing, liking, all that stuff. I know these videos are long sometimes, they're short sometimes. I'm going to throw it around and see what's what. But have a good weekend, and I will either see you guys on Monday or maybe I'll document something that's going on during the weekend. I know weekends you tend not to be on the internet as much So, yeah, we'll go from there. Thanks for listening, guys. I appreciate it.